Hi, this is Roger Sapp, and I'm with my friends Tom and Jody Chavan. And thought we'd spend a few minutes here talking to you about how they learned to do healing ministry. I understand that Tom and Jody have known me for how many years now?
Almost 7.
Almost 7. I never can get that right. And they have healing working very, very well. I've been present when they have had blind eyes open, and they have prayed for people who have terminal cancer, and they've gotten those people healed. But they didn't always start out that way. In fact, kind of like me, they didn't start that way. And so I thought I'd give them an opportunity to kind of share how they began this whole business of healing ministry.
Okay. Well, basically, Jody and I have been married about 12 years, and very quickly after we got married, she had a dream and then a vision that involved a healing ministry. And that was laying hands on people, and that was the most foreign thought. We had no background to that. In fact, churches taught that it didn't happen, so we're really starting out at zero. And we did the typical follow this meeting, go here, look for somebody who had something working. And we never found anything that really hit the nail on the head. In fact, we thought that at certain meetings, somebody would flag us out and say, Lord says, come up here, we're going to anoint you, and it's all done. So really nothing for about maybe 2 years, year and a half. And we heard about, Roger, about your meetings and looked you up on the website. And it turns out it was actually July 25th, 2003, almost 7 years ago. In Monroe, Louisiana. We went out there, and oh my gosh, what a revelation to us. It's the first time we had heard the story of the ministry of Jesus. It's right in the Bible, but told what you did. And everything was so clear, so straightforward, so simple. It was Jesus healed everybody that came. He healed them now. There were no exceptions, no qualifications, no conditions, no selecting of people. It was just the most normal, natural thing, and he did it with ordinary people.
And so Tom, I did this pretty well.
Whoa, man! Hey, we left.
You did. That veil left us so quick.
I think they're going to give me a humble award here in a little while. So
Wow.
we left there and drove home so high because where has this message been?
yeah,
It was so easy, so simple, and so founded. There was nothing missing.
the good news really is good news, isn't it?
Oh,
Yes.
well, the only problem I had is Jesus says go do this, and you go, well, okay, I'm not sure about this. It's like somebody saying you can be president. That's a great idea. What do you do with it? Well, then later I realized Jesus did no miracles until he was filled with the Holy Spirit. So here we are, men and women, with the Holy Spirit. So all of a sudden, this becomes feasible. And it's a matter of believing the Word, believing in Jesus, and then getting the opportunity to do something, to go out and practice and be involved in it. Otherwise, you're going to sit in your living room forever. You're just never going to get out there.
So until you actually get out there and you're laying hands on people, you're not going to get this working.
Huge difference, huge
Yes.
difference, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that first trip we took with you was just made all the difference in the world.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, I invited you to go to Australia with me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Jody had quite a time on the plane on the way over, if I remember correctly.
I did, but let me back up just a little bit. We met Roger in Monroe, Louisiana, and we just seemed to connect. You know, he was down to earth. It was all believable, and a normal person was teaching it. And he said,
Sorry.
sorry. He said,
I'm blowing my cover here.
There goes the mystique, yeah, okay.
he asked if we'd be interested in coming over to his house. We found out he lived about 3 miles from us. Wanted us to come over. He was getting ready to start a Bible study or a study group at his house on Tuesday nights. And he said, if you leave me your email, I'll let you know when we're getting this started. So, man, we were really excited, but honestly, we never thought we'd hear from him. Never did. And we got an email within a couple months saying, I'm starting a class at my house. Well, to us, this was definitely the Lord. And he started the Tuesday night. We started going over there, laying hands on people. We had people coming from all over the United States, and even some international people that had heard. And we were seeing healings. We saw shortly after we started going, a young man showed up, and he had 2 tumors on one side. I never remember the details, but I remember he walked in. He had actually gotten hold of Roger's book on miracles and healings, and I'm not selling this. but I
Oh,
will
that's all right,
tell
you
you,
can
it
sell
was,
it.
it was
They're still in
phenomenal.
print.
They still have
It is definitely still in print. So the young man came and had spent most of the day reading Roger's book, and he came and he
Charged.
was preaching to us. I mean, we were blown away by how much he knew.
We kept saying, this book says this and says this and
It was
says
awesome.
this, and he was giving a sermon right in that little meeting room there.
So we laid hands on him that night, and fully expecting, just because of the grace
Very
of the
serious
Lord.
cancer.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
very serious.
Cancerous tumors, yeah.
And we prayed for him that night. We had a group of maybe 8 or 10 people that were coming consistently over for the study group. And he went, that happened on
He
a
got
Tuesday.
very hot.
He went back to the doctor the following week, I think. I don't have my days straight. But they did all of the tests on him again. He went to Houston to get all the tests done. And one of the growths was completely gone, and the other one had shrunk so much that you could hardly tell it was
Really
there.
yeah.
And we were really blown away. We know the gospel, and we had heard the good news, and we know Jesus is the healer and the deliverer. But my gosh, to see it firsthand immediately, we were blown away with it. We were so excited. And we saw other things like that. I mean, we saw all kinds of healings. Within 9 months after we met Roger, he invited us to go to Australia with him. And
Seems to me that there was that little business on the plane, though, came in between that you probably
The
want you to.
moment of truth, right? Flying
We
down.
probably
That's
need
it.
to share that,
Oh.
and so.